Greetings. Thank you for joining us for tonight's communication. Oh, I have to remember what I called this. Let's see here. Oh yeah, the event. And let's see, the event, timelines, and oh yeah, the Mexican cloud. And let's see what else is there. Alright, well, the event, this should be winding down for event coverage here. But I guess there's a lot of questions that have not been answered. So I was listening to, I forgot what channel it was, but I posted it on my social network. Of course, I'm changing colors again. I guess you're just not going to be able to get around that. Because it wasn't doing that when I started up. I think when I move, it changes. So, doesn't matter. As for the event, why things are not happening, why isn't the world transforming, why isn't all of this? Well, I have that looks what came through those sessions, those QHH sessions, are timelines where it's actually occurring. Is what I got, which I never really thought about. I don't put a whole lot of thought into it, but and they're assisting us in our event as we unravel. As for a date, some of them, I mean, the dates are going to go up and down. It's always going through Ascension energies, but they are assisting us in our transformation, showing us that we are changing. They just give us clarity that we are not all making all this up. Of course, some might feel that way, but we are going into a new timeline of Ascension energies. I know some people don't like the word Ascension. I like the word Ascension because higher knowledge, higher vibration, however you want to word it, this third density is fading out little by little. It's kind of wild, especially when you look at the drivers here in this area. Notice I changed color. The drivers in this area can't drive. I don't know what's going on. It's just they're going to, the zombie apocalypse is among us, is happening right now, and it's on our roads. And then it goes on. It's not happening now. It's just ridiculous. Let's go back to the stagecoaches. Jeez. Yeah. And also, the zombie apocalypse, it's already occurring, just not what you see in the movies, if you want to call it that. Or so, but it is kind of like you are zombified robots. We're just not seeing because we're not being told what we're doing is not. We can be doing better, obviously, but many don't connect to that because they're not ready to graduate with that. And there are positive beings around us assisting us that have already graduated. They are assisting us. Alien beings, higher, new future versions of us are assisting us also. But of course, this is, yeah, the zoo, you can say, the human zoo, or however you want to word it. And we are, I have recently, we just got an image of people awakening from the coma called reality. And it's a weird I mean, it looks like it's like you're almost like, I mean, who this is however you want to look at it, but it's like you're in a like a cocoon or something, and you're just starting to break through it, awaken to, and that's because, yeah, but it's not something that's going to happen. Is this really happening? Is this real? Is this, you just got to trust your heart, basically. They're not always, the beings here are not always going to show themselves, because basically it's trusting your instincts and what world you want to live in. It's like you got a choice where you want to go. You want to go back to 3D and live whatever that is. Some of us have been screaming forever, trying to get out of it. It's like, wow, what did I do to deserve this? I think I'm not alone in that one. It's like, so yeah, so it's not going to be a quick turnaround as much as some of us would like. But that's where healing comes in. Well, healing is, we're going to there's other, obviously, people who have been doing healing for a long time, And healing is really where we're going. That's where it's going to get us into the fourth dimension or fifth dimensions. Also, it's basically it's healing or forgiveness, and not so worrying about the predictions of where the thing. I mean, you can have a prediction here and there. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it has its purpose somewhere. But it's basically just. It's like a mental travel. You're traveling out of this dimension into the next one, basically. And it's just a slow, gradual shift. And you are going to be tested. It's like, come back to 3D. Other people will be like the trolls or whatever it might be. It says, come back to our lovely whatever reality. Ugh, good luck with that. They're probably Florida drivers. It's probably who they are. Or Ohio drivers. I think they're pretty bad, too. I think Atlanta is kind of tough too, so it's just, oh jeez, I don't know if flying would make much better. Probably not. Always flying cars. Yeah. No thanks. Let me clear that out of my mind. Jeez. It's like Battle of the Roads. Gee, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, that's just neighborhood driving. Either way. Alright, clear that energy. As for, like what you hear about people connected to the Ascension, connected to the New Earth, this is all just, it is happening. It's just slowly as the soul evolves. Basically, it's changing your way of looking at things is really what it seems like what we're heading for. And just happens gradually. It can't happen fast because we're not ready for fast as much as some of us would like it. As for, I don't have anything else to add to that. I might be connecting to Arturians for this channeling. We'll see what comes through. It can't be exciting. For those who are new to all this, this is IvanTeller.com. Private sessions kind of open this week. I don't think I have any. I think I have tomorrow a little bit open because of work and everything. So that improved. Maybe it didn't. Anyways, we have Google Hangouts, Skype, Zoom, and channeling by phone. We have the Jake stuff. I'll go into Jake a little bit later. The questions also takes about 5 to 10 days for answering. It got a little bit quicker this time, so we'll see how long that lasts. We also have channeled text here that I've written or channeled messages. Find that interesting. It's also on WordPress.com. It's Ivan Teller, WordPress.com. You can find it there also. It's on Facebook. Not that it's going to help here too much, but let's see if I can get this to work. It just did an update. Maybe it will work. I never think this would be this difficult. Here's a Jake comic. This is, I'll go into this a little bit more, maybe, but as a whistleblower, I have some updates coming up on him. I can probably share, but he's going to issue 4 is coming soon. Also have Spirit Social. Let's see if we can get this to work. Yeah, you got a little bit of a hand now. Submit a question, past life regression healing. Message from initial channel consulting, 5-minute healing. Spiritual connections, healing from Miguel. Questions from Yosium. Her, this is all of hers right here, her services, and activation from Nick. Also have the Patreon. Also, if you want to support the broadcasting, you also get here for the webinar. There's also a thing for somewhere here. Webinar sign up here also. Also have whatever this is, social network. And it was this channel where I saw the well, this isn't the video about the 5D, but either way, that's good stuff there. And as for the Mexican stuff, or Mexico. I think it was in other places. It wasn't just Mexico, but this is that cloud that was in Mexico. And what I got from it was HARP technologies and reptilians involved with it. Let's see, reptilians, and I'm not sure what they're doing. They're screwing around, that's for sure. But Mexico and that area is a hot spot right now. Mexico, I don't know, they might be planning something for obviously they're not going to go and tell us through galactic email. But it does seem like Mexico is a target at this time as for Black Project testing and things of that sort. So as for that cloud being created, that might not have been on purpose. That might have just evolved and just like, whoops. So who knows? But yeah, weather anomalies. They're not giving me a clear indication. I'm not getting anything clear about the weather. Like we had kind of last year was fun with the hurricanes. So they're not, especially the Caribbean. Jeez, you don't hear about that in the news anymore. I'm not sure if they're rebuilt or anything like that. I don't really connect to the news that much, but that's kind of gone under the radar, which is the media. I kind of love it. As for that going away, those days will come eventually as we ascend to a more positive vibration. Sooner than later. Maybe just sooner for that. As for reptilians, they're causing their little difficulties. I'm surprised I didn't get an attack last night, but I think they drained my energy from last night. But either way, Reptilian Awareness Week, we should start that. I was going to do that today. I think I'll do that next week. This is the beginning of a Reptilian Awareness Week. And basically, they are here causing a little mischief. There are positive ones, of course, but the negative ones are the ones that are kind of punching us around, calling the shots, create their own religions. Fox News, CBS, all that nonsense, all connected to it. Just a big joke, basically. You can say the news and even religion is like babysitters for us until we wake up. And yeah, it's kind of a rude awakening, but eventually religion will lose its power eventually when people are let go of their fear, and so the news also will lose its. News is all fear-based, obviously. It's informing you of low energies, basically. It's like you wonder how you get a psychic attack. It comes from the network news. Of course, they're not going to say that. And it's funny how, yeah, that's right. I don't know if I mentioned this in the past, but there was like an old video of, I think it was ABC News was talking to a psychic, I forgot, a medium that was really good. And it can't always connect, he was getting blocked by people, but that's alright. That's normal. But they're very skeptical of him. It's like the news is under Anunnaki mind control. Like they're going to be like, you're not going to get any information out of these guys. They're like totally, it's like the land of the sellout, and you're going to get and be informed by sellouts. Go for it. See, that's how far. Obviously, we got a long ways to go. It's like, yeah, it's like this. They should really change their names. Really, they really should. So, as for that, but as for more galactic connections will occur once we allow this. Obviously, many are not ready for it, but more of the graduation away from all these things into more of basically create your own energy, create your own direction of in your own messages and your own individual connection. Basically, is what this is all about. Basically, and all this old stuff is going to be slowly becoming not very relevant. Not to say it is at this time, but as for Reptilian, Reptilian Week. Let's see, what are they doing today? Basically, yeah, they're like kind of like boxers, you could say. They're like heavyweights. I think they know everything. Some of them do. Well, not in an egotistical way. They just, it's kind of like a Klingon race or something like that. They're very, they're more powerful than that. No, comparing them to that is not probably the best thing. But Reptilian Awareness Week is I think that is needed because they're, it's also for healing all of this. It just came out of nowhere, but why not? It's feared based, but nothing to fear of. But yes, they are very tough on us, but that does not have to last forever. Yeah, so I'll do that next. This is previews of it, and this is all last minute too. But I think it's a good idea. Next week. So yeah, it's not fear mongering or anything. You can, if you want to pick that up, go for it. But because it is hindering our. Basically, the reason also is to make it more known to. Of how to win this instead of being under their control all the time. Not to say we are, but it does help counteract their attacks. Basically, I just want to make more awareness of them, so maybe they'll go away. Well, at least make an appearance. So that's pretty much the idea behind it. But yeah, they do connect to the news, the religions. They do a lot of mind control around the Pope, obviously. Basically, to show he's God, everyone's just kind of non-worthy of God, basically. And that's pretty much how the religion's built, is people aren't really connected to the Pope, that's God, and we're all afraid and scared, and I think, doesn't he have a fish on his hat or something like that? I don't pay attention. But the other way, that's just another form. Basically, in the ancient times, aliens were everywhere. They were seen. Not just reptilians, but insectoids and greys, etc., feline beings. And some are positive, some are not so. The ones that are not so much created our modern world, basically. As humans just became scared. Of course, when you see a reptilian being, think it's a demon, of course you're going to bow down to it or whatever it is and listen to it, especially when it has power over you and we're all just a bunch of weak people. I imagine television back then was quite entertaining, I have to admit. And so here, they just made themselves disappear. Now we just control each other, basically. They just use, the Pope and whatever else to control us. And that's all going to change. So yeah, I'm not sure it'll be drastic transitions out of this, but you can say this is all part of the event. Also, is ridding of the reptilian rule on our world. So the only reason I'm mentioning them is because I'm ready to get them off my back. So there are positive ones, but the negative ones are a real pain in the ass. And I'm not the only one that's experienced that. It just gets kind of old, especially with the drivers in this area. They're just having a blast with it. So, but why they're not seen is the big joke, basically, obviously. Is for us to, clear your energies. And what do you see through your third eye? What do you feel around you? And there are people in the spiritual communities that are connected to the reptilian agenda in a negative way. They might seem as spiritual healers, but think again, not always with a big number. Some have a small audience, so it's there. Because they don't talk about stuff like this. Not really. They kind of shove it. You don't want to scare anybody or whatever. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm trying to inform. I'm trying to get them off my back, basically. But yeah, so bring up things you don't want to remember, or they'll bring up, they'll do mind melts, basically, just to get you angry or whatever it might be, or think about, the idea is to clear that somehow. It's not easy for everyone, especially the pressures of life, basically which is called manipulations, archons involved, but reptilians play such a good role in it. But they will eventually lose their rule here once we realize we can take back our power. As for where they, let's see, Palladian forces are very much involved as for removing their grip, but anyone that's fear-based, they got them under, they're there. So you can see this is the reverse of David Icke's message, basically. They're here, now it's trying to kick them out. Instead of just saying deal with it. And there's really no solutions, I think, come from David Icke. Not to say what he's doing is wrong, do what he's got to do. But the solutions of this is, if you want to see them, connect to your light. make them known, because they get pissed when you hear about. They don't like being known. They realize people don't believe that they exist, and so it's a big gag, basically. And so I'm talking about this. I'm seeing it like I'm a freaking crazy person. It's not just them. It's archons and other beings, of course. The grays, there are negative grays, and not all of them are negative. But basically, going to a healing energy is basically realizing where their game is. Facebook is under CIA control mostly. That's Reptilian, and of course, once again, fear mongering is written all over it. Always fear energies. The media is all fear energies. Basically, it's in the DNA of news media, print media. It's all basically just lower astral energies packaged real nicely and thrown at us, basically. Through them, television is more effective than print. Now, with the internet coming, it's not as strong with video. It's not as strong as it used to be with like YouTube and other things. It's strong, but not so much anymore. So that's good. So more of I'm not sure if it'll be another YouTube ever appear, but as for Reptilian control over humanity, is basically what will happen is basically as you connect more to your powers, you'll probably see them. Not to worry, well, they're part of the package here. I mean, if you don't want to see them, you're going to keep their control here. I'm just like, screw it. What do you guys look like? And, you just allow it to, whatever you want to see, but if you see one, in your visual, they don't like to be seen because it keeps, like I said, their control here, but as we awaken more of this, you're going to see them running around all pissed off, which is going to be great. So they do get mad. When they get mad, they do show themselves, because they can't keep themselves hidden anymore, because they're so freaking pissed. They like want to kick your ass. So those are fun. So that's the whole gag is. I mean, look how humanity is ran right now. And that shows that we're on some kind of manipulated track, religion, etc. It's just a mind melt. Oh yeah, when the economy is going to crash, all that nonsense. That is all manipulation. And it's at the end of the world. But things with the economy crashing, it's all manipulation. It is so much manipulation there. It's just piles and piles of it. And they even focus it in a way where it looks positive. Oh, it's going to wake people up. Let's make it happen. So that's manipulation also. So it just gets better and better. But the reason, it's another reason bringing this up. Now, I understand this is all coming through from, well, either way, it has a positive energy to it. But if you don't think so, that's fine too. This is also going to help with healing our weather also. Become more of who's causing the issues here will heal our weather over time. As it becomes like, I don't want to be manipulated by this crap anymore. I don't want you guys manipulating me or any of it. Just go away. Just shut it down. It's time to go into the new earth. No more of this. And it will help. I think so. Just how... I'm not sure exactly. I don't have all the answers. But they do have their agents here. I think I've met a couple of them, actually. If you have dreams of reptilians, it's not always very pleasant. Sometimes you're with them, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're trying to break away from them, just to let you know. But if you're trying to, because there's a reason for that. It has its properties there. As for, like things like the jinn, also as the Arab world is under control. Now the Arab world is interesting because that's all like a reptilian hangout, basically. Their throne room, that's their headquarters, you can say, for sure. And that's where ISIS is and all that Arab world, at least the Egypt area, not all the Arab world, but a good portion of it. Iraq is the way it is. Now, how do you take that and flip it around? How do you take something like that and heal that situation? South America also, there's areas in South America like Brazil is that's under reptilian too. Jeez, just can't freaking end it. See what I mean? So Yeah, it's a battleground also. There's a lot of harp stuff there also in South America. These facilities aren't public for good reason. You don't wonder why. Yeah, with let's see. Now, as for healing the Arab world, that's a tough one. Let's see. Anybody gonna help me with this one? It's basically connected to a more positive timeline for basically for this stuff to become more surface of the mind control here. There is a lot of stargates in the Arab world. Yemen is one of them, but there's others that are not mentioned. But Iraq has one also, but there's several others. As like the Arab world was like, it was a place of light, and obviously it was like, this is like the Atlanteans and Lemurians trying to reactivate the Earth, or trying to, it's like, we're not going to have that, so they shut it down, so they really enforce their darkness there. And doing so, that's why the Arab world is so toxic. Not in all areas, but in some areas it's very, you got to know what you're doing. And South America is the same way. South America has, yeah, there too. So it's like they use technologies there to shut it down. Take what you want. They can also take a Stargate and turn it around and make it more negative. They can make it positive, negative, do whatever you want. You can bring in negative beings, bring in positive beings. It is a Stargate, it's a doorway. So as for healing that, it's like connected to more positive. Basically, it feels like for the Arab world, is more truth to come out. Allow these beings and negative energies to we need to see the truth, basically. Right? Worldwide. We need to see what's here. We need to flesh it out. And to put intentions of basically knowing the truth here. If there needs to be like a giant insectoid started walking around, I don't know if that's going to show up. That'd be really great, though. Because there's a lot of insectoid energies there, so I just felt the big one. Maybe let it surface out. This is where you send your healings. It takes time, but the Arab world, how it's going to heal is, I don't have all the answers for sure. That's going to take some time. But I believe when those areas around the world are healed, you'll have a different world. So as for how that's going to play out, they're not really telling me, but it's just intentions of Earth transformation. You notice how North Korea is not out to blow up the world. It's actually gotten quite quiet. So why can't the Arab world itself heal, and South America, America, or everything for that matter? If North Korea, of course, there's a lot of negative energy, say it's all a lie, that's third dimensional thinking. If that cannot turn into a world destructor, why can't everything else change? So it just takes time. It's like a world healing, basically. You can look at, and this takes you to the new Earth, it just takes, it's a lot there, but those areas of the world, there's probably others. Africa, for that matter, is another negative energy. It just little by little we'll find our basically for truth to come through, and what truth will be possibly reptilian beings, and who knows. Yeah, they don't want to hear this, that's fine. And also the oceans are very protected, obviously, and for that to release is going to take some time also. Basically put your intentions of, once again, healing and releasing these around the oceans. Also seems to be like symbols around certain areas that we're not seeing physically, but it's like codes to keep certain areas protected, like where they have bases and things of that sort. Also, your astral projections, as Earth rises into a higher vibration, astral projection become more clear. Over time, basically you put intentions of, you want this new Earth, right? Well, put the intentions out, how you feel of not just you healing, but how about everything else, finding answers, basically. Great. Froze. Big surprise there. So, and a lot of Anunnaki, big surprise there, are causing a lot of mind manipulations, of course, because they want to keep fear going on. But it's basically the slaves are taking back their power, basically. And so we're going to be talking about crazy stuff. And what's going on with the Arab world is, negative reptilian energies, basically voodoo type of black magic, and Illuminati energies are very much there. It's like they kind of made like the area around there, they made it almost like a mud vibration around it so they can keep their power. And that area was also like your Adam and Eve energy was in that part of the world, depending on what timeline you're connecting to. But just with the Adam and Eve energies, basically Adam and Eve is part of the Bible, as part of mind manipulation, etc., etc. I think the Bible was changed several times also. So what you see in the Bible was not beginningly written that way. It got changed over time. I think the original was destroyed. So there are like the Dead Sea Scrolls, but I think there's more to it. Like the first 5 books, I think, were totally manipulated and rearranged. Like when God created the earth in 5 days, I think a lot of that was just changed to more of an agenda. There was a Bible written, but it was shifted. Not all of it was thrown out, but I think a lot of it was. And basically, you can say the snake also is basically taking over our consciousness, you can say. And manipulating the female to weaken her so they can use, take over the male, basically. Of course, they got both of them taken over now, but they weakened the female because the female gave balance, gave more awareness, but as she got hit and taken down, the male became more dominant. But when the female retakes back her power, that domination, become back to a balance, which we need greatly, or bring us more, and that's going to be part of the new earth, definitely. So more women going into power. I mentioned this before again. All of this is going to take time, of course, but the Arab world is going to be kind of interesting where that's going to head. I'm not giving any clear indications of what is going to occur there, but not to say a lot of it's going to hit the media, but anything is possible. Let's see. Anybody here for a positive message as for where we're going to? Let's see. There's one moment. Greetings to you, I am Michael. What you, call your Arab world, your Iraq, is, the cornerstone of your Earth existence, basically, that was engineered for your future human, as what was being allowed to be remembered in your history. What your Earth is connected to is more back into where your world came from. As there's many places before your Babylon. As your Babylon's going through a healing on its own, but not seen. As violence is, occurring, but becoming less. It is just not always seen by the human eye. But there is an Anunnaki presence, an Anunnaki kingdom there that you're not seeing also. Is it a place you can visit in Astral if you wish to bring healing? And your Illuminati energies are much involved with that. You can call it an Illuminati lock they have there. You most likely see temples in your 4th dimension. You can say it's a lower level 4th dimension, however you want to see it. But it is, it's like a kingdom that you're not seeing. And this is how your Illuminati also control your planet. So when you start to see these things and release them from your world, you will see things differently. As what you're seeing in your 3rd dimension is not truly it is a version of your world. There is much more. It will gradually start to break down. Most of this will be seen in your astral plane. As yes, it was seen as a mirage, but it's actually real. This is why people see mirages in your desert areas, because they're actually there. Some places are, not all, but most of them are, because our dimensions don't have their same energy as they do here in your metropolitans. Your desert, it's easier to see the real world, basically. Yes, you can go into your desert regions and see a city in your third eye because it's there. So what is going on in your world, yes, is a new way of looking at things as you allow it to occur. This was connected to the new earth, the third earth, the fourth earth, however you want to see it. You are allowing this more new timeline to come in. And in doing so, much will occur. The human, basically your thinking will shift also into what else am I not seeing? And that's just in your third dimensional world. Yes, it's connected to the fourth dimension, it's also still a third dimensional reality. Yes, it's connected to mind manipulation. So your Illuminati energies are right here in front of you, just not seeing it. But yes, it is mostly in your desert regions, where once was a temple utopia. But there are other places here. Sahara also has a lot of manipulations around it that you can see also. Little by little, it'll be piecing together your earth as it truly is. Yes, it would be like, you could say, a mind melt. But also, if you want to see your world as it is, most will not believe it at first. They think they're making it up or seeing things. You are not. Not to go into details what you'll be seeing, but some will be stranger than fiction because it is. This is why your earth is not healed in direction due to some of you like it, because it's the unbelievable which is true. You allow the unbelievable to come in, to be seen. You will have your new earth. It will take time, of course, yes, because many are not ready to see it. As your version of third dimension, as not your true version of your third dimension. There's much more going on. You are in one dimension of third dimension. There are several others you're not seeing. You remove one, there's another one to be seen. That's more of your true third dimension. The third dimension that is controlling your dimension, basically. It has to be at a low vibration to do so. But it is in slightly a high energy, slightly, but only with a negative vibration. It keeps it active. So what do you... Yes, many are going to have difficulties digesting this, as we see. But this is where your earth is going into a more understood reality. As you will see, all this all makes sense as you're putting the pieces together. So you see a desert land. Some will say it's just desert, there's nothing there. It's like, wait a minute, there is more going on there. We're just not allowed to see it because we're still youngsters on this world. So it gives you more of a detail of where you are heading. As for it be fully brought into your third dimension is up to you. But understanding it, yes, hidden utopias are everywhere on your world. It's for you to find. Blessings to you. Alright, leave you with that. We have a webinar tomorrow. Same time, same place. So, whichever one, take care.